Patriots owner Robert Kraft has begun discussing a future without Bill Belichick. Say it ain't so, Batman. Well, some Patriot fans will say, please say it is so. So New England is not only 1-5 straight up, they're 1-5 against the spread, which means they can't even handle the point spread. They can't even be past the point spread there. That's a bad sign. So Sports Illustrated, which I guess is still around. I didn't know that, but apparently it was still around. I used to read that magazine when I was a kid. But Sports Illustrated reports that, quote, discussions have taken place. Now, Robert Kraft is said to be very sensitive to all of the lunatics that call local Boston sports radio and rip the Patriots. He's upset. One thing, I do think this part of the story is true. Robert Kraft seems like the kind of guy, the main reason he owns the Patriots is so people can say how great he is. Doesn't he seem like that kind of guy? Like, hey, I'm a rich guy, and I own the team, but I love everywhere I go. People are like, oh, even when I go to the day spa in Miami, they love me. They massage me. So I buy that part. Now, Kraft is said to be very frustrated. The Patriots are no longer a team with razzmatazz. They're not a glamour team. They're a plodding, slow, boring team. And they have moved all the way down the totem pole, and they are on the part of the totem pole where the dog urinates. That's where the Patriots are right now. They're back to patsy status. The tables have turned. So let us discuss the question. How much stock do you put in the Patriots having a Bill Belichick exit strategy? So I've got Xanax, Chili's, and State Farm. And we'll combine all of these things together, and we'll give you a penny for your thoughts, which, by the way, is also on the TV show, Benny versus the Penny, which will be on later today. But I digress. All right, so to begin the festivities here, this is, to answer the question, how much stock do you put in the Patriots having Bill Belichick exit strategy on hand? This is a penny stock at this point. The vibe I've gotten from boots on the ground is it is more likely than not that this story is a plant strategically placed into the hands of a useful idiot who's a friend of the franchise. The natives are restless. Robert Kraft does want everyone to tell their friends he's the greatest owner in the NFL. He's very PR savvy. But if you break down the story to bedrock, it is a metaphorical diagnosis of Xanax. It's metaphorical Xanax, right? It's calm your anxiety. I know you're frustrated. Everything's going to be okay. And if it continues, we are going to put a guillotine above Belichick's head and drop the guillotine. And everyone's like, okay, that's good. I like that. But it's one thing to toss it out in the media, right? It's another thing to crisscross over and actually do it. And as you know in life, from whether it's your relationships with significant others or your boss or whatever you do just day to day with friends, family, if a friend of yours, a cousin or someone related says, I'm going to help you move, and then they don't actually do that, well, actions speak louder than words. That's one thing to say, I'm going to do something. It's another thing to actually do it. It's kind of obvious. Now, Robert Kraft right now is caught between two fires because not only does he have the wildfire involving Bill Belichick, who looks completely lost and has Buffalo on deck this weekend, but you have also promised the de facto defensive coordinator, Jerod Mayo, that you are the head coach in waiting. Problem is, things aren't going so well, right? The Patriots are mucking around with everything, right? It's terrible. And they're driving a buggy right now instead of a Lamborghini, so you can't really put Jerod Mayo in there as the coach if you're going to get rid of Belichick. So then you have to bring somebody else from outside the franchise, but you've agreed to give Jerod Mayo the coaching job, so how do you weasel out of that? That means you got to cut a check, and you got to find somebody that's still got the sparkle. Some hotshot offensive coordinator. and the next great coach hiding in plain sight. Now, furthermore, headline now shifts to Denver. The Broncos are expected to open the flea market. The flag is up. Now, Halloween is the trade deadline. So we are 11 days away from the NFL trade deadline. And wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, boy, this guy, when he was drafted, oh, man, people's hearts swelled in Colorado. They were like, oh, my God, we got our guy. He's got all the measurables. He's a beast. He's a monster. And then they watched him play. And so anyway, Jerry Jeudy, who has not been a guy that's lived up to his advanced billing, he has been a pretty good story for those of us that do gasbaggery. And Jerry Jeudy got on a soapbox in the Broncos facility and preached about how those numbers might not be very good, the numbers I have. But Jeudy says that the stats tell you part of the story, but not the whole entire story. Rather than me give you the quote, let's go to the audio tape. Here's Jerry Jeudy of the Broncos. Well, apparently Jerry Jeudy is quiet and doesn't want to talk. Well, here's what he said. He said, you could be open, but the offensive line, they don't do their thing. The quarterback didn't do the job. The OC don't put you in, he stated, as far as like in a good position. Jeudy said it's a lot of stuff. Trust me, it was a great soundbite. A lot of stuff that we've got to go through as a wide receiver to be successful. All right, so the question is, how would you classify the rant, which you did not hear, because we're really bad at this, the rant that you did not hear? How would you classify the rant by Jerry Jeudy? So the points that he made, again, the offensive line, the quarterback, the OC, that is the Chili's 3-for-me deal, as in a 3-for-1 special. I would like to congratulate Jerry Jeudy because it's like bowling. He knocked down the offensive line. He knocked down the Broncos quarterback, Russell Wilson, and the offensive coordinator. They all took strays, collateral damage. So I actually loved it. Now, full disclosure here, while Jerry Jeudy is not completely wrong, there are gray areas. There are gray areas. We know that. There's some potholes and whatnot. But it is unbecoming. It is unbecoming of Jerry Jeudy to say it, and here's why. Like, a poor craftsman blames his tools. Jerry Jeudy, he's got a scarlet letter, the letter L for loser. He's not productive. He's blaming everyone else. And there are players on teams worse than the Broncos, believe it or not, that are able to produce. They have bad offensive lines. They have bad quarterbacks. They have all these things against them. But they're able to get it done. And this guy hasn't been able to get it done. It does fit with his reputation of being aloof. Aloof Jeudy. All right, parting shot. Our next headline comes from Indy, where Jim Irsay is spitting mad with Tom Brady. Say what? Yeah. So this is over Tom Brady's pursuit to become a minority owner of the Raiders. Now, the Colts owner said, well, stay in your own lane. He's got no business involved in this. Why does he care about this? Well, I'll tell you why. Jim Irsay is putting his foot down on the Sin City Brady agreement. The word on the street is that Tom Brady is trying to finagle 10% of the Las Vegas football team for the small nominal fee of $175 million. But this is quickly becoming a cluster F, and here's why. While $175 million, I'm going to assume the position that you're more like me than Tom Brady, that $175 million, while it is an extravagant amount of money and just an amazing amount of money to pay for anything, when you boil it down, that is disrespectful to the NFL, right? That's what the Colts owner is saying. That means the Raiders, as a franchise, are worth $1.75 billion. Now, the Raiders are likely worth 3 times that amount of money. And Irsay said, quote, if reasonable value says that 10% should be $525 million, you can't pay $175 million, close quote. Are you with Jim Irsay, or are you part of the Tom Brady Marching and Chatter Society, and you're like, hey, it's Tom Brady. Give him a deal. Give Tom Brady a deal. Need him in the NFL. So are you with Jim Irsay or Tom Brady on this one? So I have spent several minutes on this story, a minutes-long investigation, and spoiler alert, this is a rare W for the Colts owner. Tom Brady should call State Farm, see if they still have that discount double check. NFL owners do not give handouts. The only thing NFL owners do is take handouts from your local hack politicians. That's what they do, right? Yeah, politicians hand over your tax money to build these palace stadiums. That money the NFL takes, right? The owners love taking those handouts. They don't give handouts. I don't care if you're Tom Brady. It doesn't matter. If you're on the wrong side of the tracks, the hard scrabble streets, it doesn't matter. They don't give out. They don't give out handouts. They take them. They don't give them out. The captains of industry have the Raiders valued around $5 billion, which does mean that the math, the trigonometry that Jim Irsay used, and I used MALLER math as well, is right around $525 million. That if Brady wants 10% of the Raiders, he would have to pay $525 million. So that means, if my math is right here, from Saddleback College, if he pays $175 million, that is 66.6 less than what he should be paying. No bueno, which, by the way, 66.6, the sign of the devil. And Tom Brady brings prestige. We get that. He's got the wow factor, but he's also got to go down and get some more petty cash. That's just the way of the world. There's no free lunch, no free steak in the Raiders. And I think the better story would be Belichick exits the Patriots. Robert Kraft hires Tom Brady as like some liaison football executive, like a John Elway role when John Elway had that role with the Broncos. And then Brady can meddle and mess around, and then he can get a percentage of the Patriots. That would be a better deal rather than him going to the Raiders. So he can get a percentage of the Patriots makes more sense.